Hi, my name is Joe Nielsen, and I'm the real estate professor, baby. People have asked me how I acquired in 7 years the $3 million plus in equity. And I tell them that I'm an accidental millionaire. I didn't do anything to gather the equity. I did buy, rehab, and rent to gain monthly income, and that transpired into $3 million plus in equity. In 2011, I was writing my book, Buy and Rent Foreclosures, and was coming to the end, and I decided to differentiate myself from real estate gurus who were fraudulent by putting in chapter 20 the then 62 houses that I owned with my family. When I did that, the Excel spreadsheet totaled up the equity, and poof, there was over $3 million, and I was taken back. I was amazed. And that has led me to an understanding of gaining equity is simply owning assets that compound, that appreciate over time. Warren Buffett has a book and a saying. He says, life is a snowball. The important thing is to find a really long hill. Now, Warren isn't talking about pushing the snowball up the hill, which would be a lot of work. He's saying take the snowball up on top of the hill and roll it down, or have the snowball roll it down itself. And that's what I kind of have done with my properties, is they've kind of go along. I do manage the rentals, but they just gather equity, and I'll tell you how. We do that. The hill, for me, is the strong demand for my niche rentals of 4 and 5 bedroom houses in good school districts, student rentals, and garages. And the snow is the appreciation of that asset over time, but I have nothing to do with it. So let me tell you the 5 ways I unknowingly gathered $3 million in equity, and which is now more than $3 million, and I think in 5 and 10 years it could be 50% more or 100% more. The first thing I did was I bought low. I bought bank-owned properties that were in foreclosure and they needed a rehab. No one else wanted them. Families couldn't get financing on them. Many times other investors didn't want them. So I was confident that I could do a rehab, so I bought them, and by buying a $40,000 property at $20,000, I immediately gained $20,000 in equity. That was not my reason for buying. I wanted to rent it, but I did do that. And I bought them all that way. The second thing was the rehabs. Now I did a rehab that I redid the kitchen with ceramic, new cabinets, etc., etc. And people love kitchens. And I redid the main bathroom, and I usually put in a second bathroom. Ceramic, very nice. These things increased, for every dollar I spent on the rehab, it increased the value of the property by $2. So if I spent $30,000 on the property in rehab, it increased that value by $60,000. So my $1 created $60 and created $30,000 in immediate equity. Are you with me there? Okay. For every $1, $2 in a value, of which $1 is instant equity. The third thing is something that is amazing. It's inflation. And historically, for those of you who just recently got into real estate or have been looking, real estate went down, but historically, real estate has increased by 3.5% per year. And I believe that will continue. The government spending money, inflation, sooner or later will heat up. So if you have one house worth $100,000 and it goes up by 3.5%, that increase, that value just went up $3,500. If you have 5 houses, $17,500 every year. 10 houses, $35,000 while you sleep. And if you have 10 million in value of your real estate, it'll go up $350,000 in a year at 3.5 while you do nothing. It's astonishing. Number 4, monthly principal paid in. Your mama and your daddy told you to save. Maybe like me, that's a little difficult to do, but forced savings, part of real estate, paid by your tenant, when you pay your mortgage payment, it's principal and interest. The principal part is you're paying down the principal amount, you're paying down the loan. So it's kind of like forced savings. So let's say you have a mortgage payment of $700 a month, and $150 of that is principal. Times 12 months, you've saved $1,800 that year with one house. With 5 houses, it's $9,000 you've saved every year. 10 houses, it's $18,000 every year. And if you had 68 houses, that would be $122,400. That's a lot of savings, year after year. Tenants paying it for you. Number 5, a high net increases the value of your property because it's an asset producing income. So a house that nets $1,000 is worth less than a house that nets $3,000, which is worth less than a house that nets $6,000, which is less than a house that nets $10,000. So the higher your return, the higher the asset is worth, and therefore you have more equity. Those are the 5 ways I became an accidental millionaire. And it's kind of fun, and you have to own the asset and let it compound. Don't sell it. If you need money, refinance it. Thank you.